Hello, my name is Ted Blaze and I'm the Chief of Police here in Skowhegan, Maine. This is my Deputy Chief, Don Bolduc. This is our first of, we hope to have many video clips that will be posted on the CATV 11 and also with a link to our Facebook page for Skowhegan PD. As I said, my name is Ted Blaze and I am the Chief of Police. I've been here about 10 months now. And just to give you a little background on me, I worked for 20 years down in southern Maine in the town of Gorham. Moved up into the Farmington area and worked for about 8 years for the University of Maine in Farmington. And then 10 months ago took this job on, and I am enjoying myself here in Skowhegan. My Deputy Chief, Don Bolduc, he can give you a little background on him.
I'm formerly from the Millinocket Police Department, where I was there for 25 years. The last 10 I was the Chief of Police, and I decided to come to Central Maine, and now I'm here for Skowhegan Police Department.
Okay, very good. Now, this is our first of many shows, and what we've done is we've posted on our Skowhegan Facebook, Skowhegan Police Facebook, we've posted the fact that we're going to be doing these shows, and we want folks to send in questions to us. So tonight we have a series of questions that we're going to address in our initial show, and please send in more questions to our Facebook page, and we will continue to answer them because we want folks to know who we are and what we're doing here in Skowhegan. Okay, so our first question is, how do I get a copy of a police report? And I'll let Don answer that.
If you need a copy of the police report, you will contact the police department and you'll make a request to the Chief of Police. He will review your request, and if he's allowed to relinquish that information to you, he will give you the report. And there is a $10 fee for that report.
Now, not all police reports are available or open to the public. There's a certain amount of data that we have here at the police station that remains private, and it's called non-conviction data. Conviction data is public. Non-conviction data is not public. And you can look up in the Maine state law right on maine.gov, or just type in Maine law on a Google search, and you will find all sorts of information about conviction data. Our second question here. I was involved in an accident. How do I get a copy of the accident report?
Again, you can contact the police department and request a copy, and it's the same fee, $10. And make sure that you have your information on the date that it occurred and who the officer was, and make that request to the Chief of Police, and he will get that to you.
Okay, now, car accidents or traffic crashes, they are public documents. So every day we get requests for car accident reports. Now, it's also the responsibility of your insurance company to request these. So sometimes we have folks come in and then also their insurance company is asking for a request. Now, if you come in, you have to pay a $10 fee, and your insurance company is going to do the same, and then they're going to pay a $10 fee. So if you work with your insurance company, let them handle it. You pay enough money for insurance, let them handle the getting the copy of the report. If you feel it's necessary, though, come down 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, and meet our administrative assistant, Kelly, and she can help you for a copy of an accident report. Our next question is, I have applied for a new job and I need to be fingerprinted for my new job. Does the police department offer that service? Don, can you help out with that at all?
Yes. In most cases, you will receive a request for fingerprinting, and it's very specific. A lot of times they'll say go to your local police department and they'll be able to do that for you. And there are some requests that need to be done by a specific department, like the state police. Whether I think if you're going to be a bus driver or anything to do with teaching, you need to go through the state police. But look at the directions, and if they refer you to your local police department, we can do those. And Chief, is there a fee for that as well?
Yes, there is a small fee for doing fingerprints. Getting back to school, anything related to the schools. Coming from Farmington over at the university, that is an educator's college pretty much. So there's a regular set date that the state police come to the university over there at UMF and do fingerprints. It's like each month on a Saturday. So you can go to the State of Maine State Police website and it'll tell you the dates that they're going to be in the area if it's regarding fingerprints for a school job. If it's some other job, we have folks that come in that want that want fingerprints for things to go overseas, like Job Corps and things like that. We can do those right here. Let's go on to the next question. How do I become a police officer?
That's quite a detailed answer, but one of the first things that you can do is I would contact a police officer that you know or someone here at the police department and talk to them about the general requirements of the job. The first thing I would ask you to do or tell you to do is to go on the Maine Criminal Justice Academy website and look at their website, and they have what's called a pre-service, and that will give you all the information how to become a reserve officer, and then it'll give you additional information on how to become a full-time officer. But I think that's a question that you can contact a police officer, and then they can definitely give you the full answer. I think there's quite a bit to it, but they'd be happy to let you know.
Now, becoming a police officer is, there's many steps to the whole process. You know, to become a part-time officer, there's a series of steps, and those steps work towards becoming a full-time officer. But eventually you will have to go through the 18-week basic academy at the Maine Criminal Justice Academy in Vassalboro. Now, keep in mind, there are many tests involved, and there are physical tests too. So check out the MCJA website and check out what the physical requirements are for a police officer to make sure that you can do those to become an officer. Okay. I think my neighbor might be selling drugs. What should I do?
You should definitely report it to the police department, 474-6908, and we actually have a tip line, extension 127. But if you see something like that or something that's suspicious, don't hesitate. Please call us and let us know about it.
Now we also have, here in Somerset County, we have an underage drinking task force that many members of the law enforcement community are members of, and they developed a tip line that is totally anonymous. And you can find that right through the Somerset County Sheriff's Office website. And that line is totally anonymous, and we want folks to report things. So we don't want you to feel as though we're going to track and call you if you want to just tell us something and remain totally anonymous. So check out the Somerset County Sheriff's Department tip line if you feel uncomfortable about calling one of our extensions here.
And very soon we'll have what's called e-tip, and it's tipping and giving information via text. So that will be coming soon.
Okay. Next question. We have a problem in our neighborhood with drivers speeding. What can we do?
Again, call the police department and make us aware of the problem with speeding. And it's very helpful to us if we know the time of the day, how often, how frequent, and that narrows it down to us, and we can focus on areas where there are problem speeders, and that's what we'll do, and we'll try to slow things down and be more visible and have patrol in that area.
We do have some electronic devices to help us with this. I mean, each police cruiser is equipped with radar, and the radar has antennas both front and back, so if a police car goes by you, it can still track your speed. And we also have the speed trailer that you may have seen around town that shows your speed. In areas that we may have a lot of complaints of speeding, we'll put the speed trailer out there, and flash and show you what your speed is so you can be aware of how fast you're going. This goes right into the next question, and that is, I got a ticket. Why do officers write tickets, and do we have quotas here?
We definitely do not have quotas, but we do routine patrol for safety reasons, and there are speeding infractions that we stop people for, other type of traffic infractions that we stop people for. There are times where you may just get a warning. There are times when you're going to get a ticket. That's entirely up to the officer and the circumstance.
So now, even if you get a ticket, read the directions on the ticket. It shows you, it explains what your options are. If you feel that you didn't deserve that ticket, you can contest it, and you can take it to court, and the officer has to show up in court, and it gets determined by a judge whether you're guilty of that violation or not. Now, some folks call me up when they have a ticket because they're upset, and they think that I'm going to do something because the officer gave them this ticket. But if there hasn't been any kind of officer misconduct or anything like that, I am not going to get involved in people's tickets because I wasn't there. I feel as though my officers have, the power to either issue a warning or issue a ticket at their discretion, and I trust that they will use their best discretion. So if you feel as though there was some type of misconduct, you can call me down here at the police department or send me an email. Some people today really like emails. My email here at Skowhegan Police is tblaise, TBLAIS, at skowhegan.org. So give me an email if you feel as though you don't want to give me a call. Okay, next question. I received a scam call. How can I protect myself?
The first thing I want to say, and I know that people have heard this phrase before, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So keep that in mind. But anytime somebody tries to solicit personal information from you over the phone, by email, don't give it out. If somebody calls and says, hello, this is the bank, we want to confirm your personal information, you need to question it. You need to hang up, and if they're looking for that information, they're not going to call you over the phone, and they're not going to send you an email. So there are other ways that they do that. But just common sense goes a long ways, and like I said before, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If somebody calls you and you know they're a telemarketer and you're not interested, you didn't ask for that product or request, then just say, I'm not interested, and hang up the phone. If you get it in the mail, it looks too good to be true, rip it up, discard it.
Here in Maine, we have a lot of folks who are getting older, and we have a lot of people out there looking to take advantage of our elderly citizens. With today's technology, emails and computer scams, and believe it or not, the regular landline is a major source of a lot of folks getting scammed. If your number is not a private number, it's out there for everyone to see, and a lot of folks try to take advantage of our elderly that may say you have just won something, or you have, you didn't pay your bill, and if it always appears that maybe this could be legit, but don't ever trust it. And if you have elderly parents and you're worried about them, ask them if they're receiving calls. Ask them about their emails. We need to take care of each other here, and we got to stop these scams because they are making off with people's retirement and their bank accounts. It's happening out there, and the best way is keeping really good track of these things. Okay.
And if you do receive something and you're not sure, call us and we'll review that information for you.
Absolutely. Okay. Next question's about cats and dogs. There's a lot of stray dogs and cats roaming my neighborhood, and they are making a mess of my yard or flower beds, what can I do?
Well, we have a leash law in Maine and in Skowhegan. A dog has to be on a leash and it cannot be running at large. So if it is going on your property and it is a problem, give us a call. We'll talk to the owner and they will be warned. If this continues, they could receive a summons.
Now here in Skowhegan, we have a part-time animal control officer. And so that means part-time. That means they're not there every day working, you know, every Monday through Friday or anything like that. So a lot of our officers do come out and assist on calls like this. If you have a barking dog call late at night or any time of day, the officer, if you call it into our dispatch center and a call is started, the officer can go over there and ask those folks to quiet their dog. From that point on, it can lead to a summons for barking dog. It could lead to an unlicensed dog or a loose dog issue. But it all starts off with a call here to us through the dispatch center. Leading into the next question here is, I think my dog was picked up by the animal control officer. Where do I find out where to go pick him up?
Chief, I'll have to refer that one to you, other than the obvious to call the police department, and then they can give you that information.
Yes, dogs go to the impound, and we do have the name. What is the name of our?
Somerset Humane Society.
The Somerset Humane Society. That's where your animal will go if it gets picked up being a loose dog. And you can call here, and we can give you the number for those folks. I just don't have it right here in front of me. So give us a call here or call dispatch, and our dispatch center has the number for our animal control officer and the numbers to the shelter. So ever since we started this interview here, we've been talking about calling and you know, now I want to address how do you get a hold of the folks here at the police department? How can we get in contact with people at the police station? I have left messages in the general mailbox and did not hear back. Can we use Facebook page to report complaints? Can you start to address that there, Don?
First of all, we'd like you to call the police department, and during the day we have Kelly is here, and she'll be able to answer the phone from 8 to 4:30, or sometimes 9, but during the day you should be able to get somebody here. If not, you can leave a message through our automated voicemail, but you can also email us. Facebook, I don't believe, is something that we check on a regular basis, so I would not do that. It's good for communication purposes, but first of all, if you have an emergency, you call 911. Second, call the direct line of the police department, and third, you can also email us as well.
Absolutely. I do have to say, since I've come here to Skowhegan, there seems to be much confusion over how to reach folks here at the police station. Now, fortunately, we are about to get a new phone system here in the municipal building. Our current phone system has not been working properly. We do have mailboxes, but sometimes it's been hit or miss. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. The call to, and people call, and they call me upset because, you know, no one's getting back to them. But sometimes the way our system works, folks are not getting through. So I recommend that you always call the dispatch center. Here in Skowhegan, the Somerset County Communications is in charge of dispatch. Their number is 474-6386. 474-6386. And once you call them, they start a call for service. And that call for service is documented. So by calling them, that's when things truly get documented that you've called us and that you are looking for service. And that's when we make sure that you get the services that you need. That is pretty much it for our first show here. Hopefully we will do this again, and we're going to try to do this once a month. Now, you may notice that we have two different uniforms here. This has been the traditional uniform for the Skowhegan Police Department for probably 30 years. And this is the new uniform for the Skowhegan Police Department. We made a change to try to bring some new life into, bring some new enthusiasm into the job, and we just wanted to wear two different uniforms here to show you the two different uniforms. And to be honest with you, this uniform's very expensive with all the little gold buttons and things on it. This uniform is almost half the cost. So, thank you so much for your time, and hope to be hearing or receiving questions from you via Facebook for our next show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.